There's a manual way to do it, and there's an easy way to do it. I'll show you the manual way first, just so you know. And just to kind of explain a little bit about masking. So if I right-click this and go add a black mask, what that's going to do is, just like in Photoshop, it's going to add a mask to all 4 channels, and it's going to just completely get rid of it. That's because wherever anything is black in your mask, it is not going to show up. Alternatively, wherever anything is white in your mask, it will show up. So for this, let's go ahead and demonstrate. So I'm going to go over here. I'm going to choose a default brush here. I'm going to crank it all the way up to white, and with the mask selected, not the base color. You're going to see when you have the base color selected, we have access to our channels and the material tiling and things. If I go over here to the mask, all I have access to really is a little bit of brush settings and then white or black, because I'm painting in my mask. So with white selected, I can go in here and I can start painting where I want my light metal to show up. Now you can go through your entire object and go, okay, I want light metal here. Then of course, if you want to hold down Control and change your hardness, you can Control up and down to change your hardness, and then Control left and right to change your scale, all that good stuff. But really, what would be easier is to go ahead and either use material IDs, which we're going to get into, or use pieces of your object to completely fill. So let's say we want to turn this guy's eyes silver. I can go in here and I can paint his eyes silver. Or what I can do is, let's go up here to where it says this little arrow with the square. It's called Geometry Decal. I'm going to click it. And over here you're going to see some options. So this selection is, if I roll over it, triangle selection. So if I click and drag, it's going to drag a marquee. And wherever there's a triangle, it's going to want to fill it with that silver. The next one over is Polygon Selection. So again, if I drag a marquee, it's going to take an entire polygon face and fill it with silver, because I'm basically filling every single one of these polygons with white, essentially, in the UV map. If I go over here to mesh selection, what I can do is any mesh that isn't vert welded, I can tap it, and it'll go ahead and fill that entire non-vert welded mesh with that material you have selected. So if I undo that and I click the eyeballs, those will be silver. I can click these tubes. Those are all non-vert welded, but as soon as I click something that is vert welded, like this antenna back here, all of this stuff is all vert welded together, so it's going to fill all of that with silver. So you kind of got to know how your object is kind of set up in order to use this one. Another thing you can do is UV. So if I click UV, you can fill entire UV shells with a material, or you can go in there and mask it. But how to see those is up here where it says 3D. I'm going to go to 3D/2D. So that's going to have the 3D view over here, as well as my 2D view. So I can Alt, middle mouse drag to kind of pan. I can Alt and right click to zoom, or use your mouse wheel. And you can kind of go around and see, okay, there's the eyeball actually. So this whole eyeball is its own UV shell. I can click that and go ahead and make it silver. Or if I go down here and change this to black and then click the eyeball, that'll change the mask value to black, which is nothing, and now my eyeball is no longer silver. So you can use UV shells, geometry shells, basically all your vert welded geometry, faces or points, or triangles, sorry. So now that we got that down, let's go ahead and go back to just our 3D view here. I'm going to go ahead and right click this and choose remove mask. So let's start again, only this time what we're going to do is, instead of using geometry to kind of mask where I want my light metal to go, I'm going to use our material ID. So if I roll over this, you're going to see, just like when we were in Substance Designer, this is the material ID. Everywhere where my object is, baby blue or red or dark blue or gray, those will be a specific material selection on my geometry. So in order to use this, what I can do, and again, this is a slow way, I'm going to go ahead and actually I'm going to go back, make sure I'm on the brush settings here, click on my light metal here, and I'm going to right click it and go add black mask. Now again, that is going to, click out of Geometry Decal and click in your brush mode. What that is going to do is add a black mask. It's going to make light metal completely disappear. So now what I can do is right click and do add color selection. And what that's going to do is give me a little color selection underneath my mask. Now, when this little thing is red, that means there is something underneath it, and you can actually stack a whole bunch of stuff. When we get into smart materials, you'll see a little bit of that. So when we're on our base material here, or on our base channel select, so color, height, roughness, and metal, when we're on this one, you don't see it. You only see that in the mask area, because this is helping generate a mask. So when we get into mask generators, filters, and things to do levels, and I'll do all sorts of wacky stuff to your masks, that is in the mask section here. So I'm going to click color selection, and it's going to give me a pick color. And I'm going to say, you know what, I want light metal everywhere where it's light blue. And there you go. It went ahead and created a mask. If I roll over this, you're going to see everywhere that was light blue in my material ID, it made white in my mask, and now I can see light metal over my base metal here. Again, if I go click into the base color here and I change this from 100 down, you can see I can start fading out the base color, all that good stuff. All that is still relevant, but just the simplest form is this mask, this color selection. So I have the mask selected and I can paint on it, or I can click color selection. Here's my color selection options. If I want to pick another color, all I got to do is pick color and just grab another one, say dark blue. So now all the areas with light blue and dark blue, you can see here, light blue and dark blue. Everywhere on my object where it's light blue and dark blue, I have a mask. Now if I messed up, it's like, you know what, I didn't want dark blue. Just click this minus sign and I'm back to light blue.